Hello everyone, Ron again, and in this video we are going to discuss some Izotope products. Given that it is the holiday season and they just had a ton of stuff on sale, I got a request to explain the general workflow in the way that they intend for you to use their products. So in this video, we're going to start with Audiolens and Tonal Balance Control, as they come as part of the music production suite. And if you stick around, then I believe this will be helpful to you and you'll understand better about how Izotope intends for you to use their products. So with that being said, the first one is to look at Tonal Balance Control. So what it does is it has a bunch of different presets that come standard with it. And this is Tonal Balance Control 2, because that's the one they're selling now. The original Tonal Balance Control only had like 3 of these. So, there's a ton of them here. They updated it. And the point is for you to see if your mix is tonally balanced. And the advantage of having a tonally balanced mix is that when you play it on other devices, it will still sound good across all of them. So I have a song loaded here that I put out already called Groove. And it's an original song that is my own. And we're going to see if it's tonally balanced. I exported the stems, so it's in a state as if it was just never mixed. I mixed it a little bit for the sake of this video. But the point is that we're going to see what tonal balance control shows us. And the reason that we would use tonal balance control is, again, to make sure that while you're mixing, that is tonally balanced. Because this is something that ideally you would do during the mixing session rather than trying to fix it in mastering. So let's take a look. So if we look at tonal balance control, we can see that as it was playing, according to the parameters that has set, that the mix was tonally balanced if you're trying to mix for bass heavy. So if you switch one of these, let's say if you're trying to mix in the modern way and I play it again, now you can see that that section it's okay in low and the high mids, but the low mids there's not enough and the high is too high. So that's the advantage of tonal balance control. If I was trying to mix a hip hop track, then I would use the guidelines that are here because they provide parameters. Because what they did is they analyzed thousands of songs and they gave you like target curves. So the upper limit was about here and the lower limit was there in the songs that Izotope analyzed when they were developing this. And the reason you would use this is if you don't have an ideal mixing space, like your room is not treated, or you have speakers that have a different type of response, and because when you listen to it, your mix over and over, you lose objectivity. So the point is that you will have an objective perception based upon the software. So I play this one more time. Let's see if it would be fit according to their parameters as a hip hop track. You can see it would. Even though it's still a little bit too much high, it would, for the most part, it would be okay. That would just mean I might consider turning down the high end. And over here, you have this thing which tells you if the low end is compressed. Ideally, they intend for you to have it in the middle, and then that means it's compressed just enough. Over here, it means it's too compressed, and over here, it means your low end is not compressed enough, based on their metrics. So when considering tonal balance control, the key to understanding is that it is a tool, and at the end of the day, you're going to mix your mix for the way you want it, but it does really help in providing guidelines because what I have found is that after using it, my mixes started to improve and they actually sound more clear when they're tonally balanced. Like you would think that you should have, just because it's a bass heavy track, that maybe you're just focusing on how much bass, but you can't forget the rest of the song because actually these two areas are the ones that we hear the most because of the way that our ears work. So this will help to guide you in choosing the right amount of bass. And the reason that I paired Audiolens with Tonal Balance Control is because Audiolens is intended to do something very similar. So Audiolens is actually, it's down here. So you can see this is like the taskbar in Windows. It's not open inside of FL Studio, it's open outside of it. So it stands alone on the desktop. And when you play audio, it analyzes whatever audio is being played in the computer. But what's interesting is that if you press this capture button, now you can see the tonal curve of my voice, and it has a decent amount of bass. That's what's up. So it is analyzing my voice because my voice is going through the computer. And after I stop, see how it analyzes it, and then it makes a reference curve. So if I was to label this, now if I wanted to have another song or just say I wanted to EQ something, then I would want my voice to be this way. That would be the point of this, you know? So it shows you that as I continue to speak, my voice always has the same tonal curve, roughly. And it matches in all the different parameters, like the low mids, the high mids, and the high consistently. Now, I have some other songs here that I just like. So I was analyzing their tonal curves. This is Got Me Going by Day 26. And it's kind of funny. You can see how even it is for the most part. What surprised me was that the song Home by Daughtry, because it's a rock song and this is like R&B or pop, it actually is very similar. It's very balanced across everything. So nothing is super dominant, and you can see that the highs they're low. When you get to the extreme highs, probably around 15 kilohertz. This is a Japanese song by a rock band called Micah N. And it is very similar to Daughtry. So you can see where the idea of tonal balance control was actually derived from. Because if I look at these two, they look pretty much the same. But the advantage of Audiolens is you can analyze the songs that are coming out of Spotify by playing them on the computer. And it doesn't matter what application they're playing through, it simply is able to capture it. So if you let the entire song play, then you capture its tonal balance through the entire song. It'll analyze, and then you can copy that curve. And you can open it up in Neutron and in Ozone, and you can use these presets that are in Audiolens to actually shape your own track by just playing the music, and then you don't have to like buy it and try to get the wave, like the wave file. So for the purposes of this video, and this is something I discovered, because when I did these, I only played sections of them. So you can see how this has like an upper and a lower limit, so to speak. Like the top of this purple segment is the highest that the low mids go, and the bottom is the lowest. But when I played my own track, I did the whole thing because it was inside of FL Studio. So there's no difference in like compression or loss of top end. And you can see that it has the range from the lowest that the highs and high mids go to the highest that they go. And this would be the point of Audiolens, how you're supposed to use it. But what's cool is that you could use it on a specific song while you're making the track, and it is very objective. Whereas tonal balance control, it is over different tracks that were analyzed. If you wanted one specific song, then Audiolens is even more detailed. And also you can import it into Ozone and Neutron 4. Like I was saying before, you can import the tonal curves. So what we're gonna do is we are going to play the track again and look at it through Audiolens because it's my own song. So actually that makes it a lot easier. So here we go. I'm gonna match it to its own tonal curve. Okay. So we could see when it was playing before that the high end was too high. Actually, let me play it again and capture it. Okay, so now if I look at this one, I can see that the highest that this goes is about right here. But the way it's mixed now, the high is up here. So now what I would do is I would look at the mix and say, wow, the high end is too high, like too loud. But when I mixed it before, it was not so, because this is the original. It's nowhere near as high. And to be honest with you, I left that in on purpose because I started mixing it again. Because I have to show about Neutron and Mix Assistant and all of that. But the point is that this is where the mix is at now. And if I wanted to remix this song and get the same tonal balance that I got before, then I would look at this one all the time while I'm mixing, which is what I was doing. I would say, all right, it goes all the way down here with the low end because there are sections that don't have bass in the beginning. So that's the explanation for this. It doesn't mean it wasn't tonally balanced. It just means there wasn't low in the song because it was at the beginning, and I like to add all the elements in over the course of time. So they become more musical and then you don't get bored. And here, the same idea applies. So if you just looked at this tonal curve, you say, all right, so the low mids and the high mids were the focus of the song the entire time, really. So with that being said, that is actually the purpose of tonal balance control and Audiolens, and that is how Izotope intends for you to use them. That's where they have value because they allow for you to look at your mix and make sure it's tonally balanced while you're creating it. So for example, I would go to the hi-hat, and it's kind of hard to see because I'm a little bit far away. But I would go to the hi-hat and I would lower the hi-hat because the hi-hat is the instrument that is high, that is too loud, according to Audiolens. But Audiolens, again, is specific, and tonal balance control wasn't going to tell me that necessarily. It was only going to tell me that if I was looking at it based on a certain genre. Yeah, so that's that. And I hope this video was helpful to you. I'm going to be doing more of them on the other Izotope products. You can see, if you look over here, you can see that I was mixing it already. I have relays, and I have the exciter, the equalizer, Neutron 4's equalizer. But I'll get into that, how I chose what would go where in another video. So thank you for watching this video if you stuck around to the end. And I hope that this can help you in understanding the Izotope workflow, which actually is pretty awesome. And like, comment, and subscribe if you would. I'm sure I'll put another video somewhere over here that will help you and it will be relevant to this, but I haven't figured out what it is yet. Maybe gain staging, and you should click on that because it will give you further information about why you would do what at a certain time. So with that being said, as usual, Thank you for watching and have an awesome day. Peace.